I'm the kind of guy who's not afraid to try some new things. You know, I'm always open to new experiences. And I'd say that there's probably nothing I wouldn't try at least once, but then most of those days are long behind me though, because, you know, nowadays I could break a hip. Yeah. More I've moved to being more of a culinary adventurer. I am always on the look for new places, new food experiences. And, you know, it kind of makes sense now, right? It's like, yeah, it's all the pieces are starting to come together. But I'm getting off track here, and as usual, but that's my brand, right? Now, having said all of that, I am not at risk adverse to trying a new place to eat. And as a big boy, for me, eating is how I socialize. It's like getting out there and getting to know people over a meal, breaking bread. It's one of the things I really liked about networking in the beginning was those sort of breakfast moments where you could talk to other people. It's always been a great way for me to socialize. Now, the golden rule that I have, my general rule of thumb, is the tinier the place, the more hole in the wall, harder to find, the more likely you're gonna walk past it, the more likely I'm gonna walk in, all right? I'm gonna give that place a shot first before any place else, because those places always have the best food. And in all of my years, which is quite a few, they have never let me down. It always pays off. It is always an amazing experience, and I always love and enjoy doing it. In those times, I've had some great food. I've met some really great owners. I've gotten to know some amazing people, and it was all topped off by a great meal with a new, really fun and exciting experience. And experiences that I kind of talk about a lot on a regular basis. I like to share those experiences with people. And so, for example, the other day I was talking to a colleague of mine, and as usual, the subject of Korean barbecue comes up. If it's barbecue or Korean barbecue, you guarantee it's going to come up sometime in a conversation with me. It always does. And I mentioned this great place over in Garden Grove that I absolutely love. I mean, I can't get enough of it. We used to go all the time. We haven't been back much because we haven't gone out a lot, but we go on a pretty regular basis. And I mentioned the name of it to this colleague of mine, and lo and behold, they go all the time too. Now, why we haven't run into each other, I mean, who knows, right? I mean, it's a small world, but it's a big world at the same time. But it just goes to prove my point, because we had a deeper conversation. We got to know more about each other. We talked about our likes, our dislikes. We got really into it. And I guess once again, I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's get into the challenge before we get too far, okay? Because I'm just gonna keep talking. See, I can talk about food all day long. Now, before we go again too far, I'm E.H. Howard, and this is the Toolbox Challenge. And you're probably saying to yourself, dude, what's the Toolbox Challenge? And if you made it this far, hopefully you're kind of interested, because that is a great question. As a well-rounded owner, you need to always be aware of what's out there, what's coming at you, because we never know what the next thing is that's going to come hitting at us. And we get hit a lot. We need to be ready for anything. We need to be like the Justice League or the Avengers. We need whatever's coming, we got to be ready for it. And you are the VP of your sales department, which means that you're out there selling and talking and connecting with people. You need to find ways that can do it quickly, easily, and effectively, but that also feel real and genuine. You don't want people thinking you're fake. You don't want people thinking you're inauthentic. And that is the goal here, all right, with the Toolbox Challenge. We are going to have new experiences that are the equivalent to buying a new tool. You know, and when you buy a tool, you might use it immediately, but then you might put it in your toolbox and use it 6 months, a year from now. But it's there if you need it. You can access it if you need it, and that is the goal here. We want to have those experiences that will allow us in the future, whether we're at maybe a networking event, a party, some sort of business event, that will allow us to talk to people, a wide range of people, at least start a conversation, have a conversation opener, and get to know them a little bit better. But the side benefit is it gets you out of your head for a little bit. You can have a new experience. You can enjoy life for a half an hour or so. And in most cases, you don't have to leave your house. But you kind of get the idea. You know where I'm going with this. You can kind of see. So let's get into the challenge that we're facing and see what we can do, all right? Now, one of the problems that every time I talk to somebody, I hear the same thing, that most self-employed, smaller home business owners face is we are too busy working in the business, we're too busy doing the work of the business, that we don't have time to work on the business or get out of the business, all right? You get wrapped up in the day-to-day and we forget, as usual, to take time for ourselves. We go along at a high speed, we convinced ourselves that we're a machine, but you know, machines break down. Machines need to be maintained, they need to be cared for. Nothing can run on all 8 cylinders and not break down eventually. And if you break down, that's even worse than taking the half an hour for yourself, right? You are no good to no one. You could be so take the half an hour instead of losing bigger at the end, okay? Now that means you need to relax, you need to eat, and you need to sometimes get out of the office, okay? So now in this challenge, I'm gonna challenge you to take a minute, but you know, really more than a minute, kind of a skosh more than a minute, but you know, you get the idea. I want you to go out and eat lunch, all right? Now, if you're like me, it's going to take a Herculean effort to get you off of your chair and get out to do it. You may want to do it in here, you keep convincing yourself, but the actual getting up and getting out becomes the challenge. But do it, trust me. You're gonna thank me in the end, all right? So I want you to go out to lunch. Give yourself permission to take a lunch. Now, get out from behind that desk and get out there and you will really enjoy yourself. However, before we get too far, let's put some rules here, all right? Let's put some parameters into what we're doing, because I don't want you to just go out and grab something through the drive-thru. That is not the point of this, all right? Because anybody can do that. The point is not to get something to drive through. Do not get something delivered. I know you're trying to get around the rules. I know it, I can see it, but do not have anything delivered. The goal, the subtext here is to just get out and experience the world, to live for 5 minutes. Everything on your desk, I guarantee you, can wait. The world won't end in the half an hour. Your business will not come crashing down. Don't worry about it. Get out and enjoy yourself. I guess what I'm saying is, if you feel like you need to take, you know, 12 o'clock comes and you're like, I need to finish this before 12:30, fine, finish it before 12:30, then take your lunch at 12:30. There is really, I mean, for most of us, there's really nothing that is on the table that needs to be resolved that will destroy everything in the universe if it's not resolved in the next half hour, right? Okay. All right, so let's put a little bit more rules on the road here, all right? You can go by yourself or you can go with someone. Doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is to get out. The point is to try something new, to have an experience. You need to get out. That's the goal, all right? Now, let's be clear on what out there means. Out there with people, other humans, sitting someplace and having a lunch, all right? I want it to be a fresh experience with a PH, as the kids would say, all right? I don't want you going to some place that you love, you go there all the time with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other. No, you need to try someplace new and different that you've never been to before. It has to be a brand new, completely new experience. It is all about trying something new and taking that tool and putting it in your toolbox for later. And if you go to the same old place, you're not going to accomplish that. You're not going to do that. I want you to engage with the owner. Talk to the owner for 2 minutes. You know, go a little bit more than deeper than how long have you worked here? Ask them some questions. Get to know them. They are a fellow small business. Maybe you can find some business there. You know, who knows? Get to know them. But importantly, the most important part is relax and enjoy yourself. And I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but a half an hour out of the office will really recharge you. It will change your day. You'll feel much more energized. You'll be much more focused. It reminds you that there's a world out there. You can clear your head. You get centered. You can come at some of those problems that you've been struggling with fresh eyes, all right? It's a great way to really kind of get out there and see the world. Now, when you're done, when you've finished eating, when you've come back to the office, I want you to take time and move on to the reflection portion. We're going to kind of review the experience and kind of get into it a little bit detail and see what we can take from it. All right? I'll see you in the reflection portion. Hey there, welcome back. I am E.H. Howard, still. And this is the reflection portion of the People Who Luncheon Challenge. Now, for this section, you're gonna need something to write notes in, all right? A notebook, a binder, the notes app, whatever you want, whatever works for you. If you need to, there's a worksheet attached in the description below. The idea is I want you to keep the notes about your experience so that you can kind of process it or remember it when you need it. So when it's, your notebook is going to kind of act like your toolbox, so you can think, oh yeah, I went a year ago to this great place, let me go back. And you kind of get where I'm going. Now, I use a Moleskine, but you do you, and as I said, if you're absolutely necessary, there is a worksheet attached with prompts and space to work out your problems, all that kind of stuff. Below, do not hesitate to download it, print it as much as you want, give it to your friends, I don't care. It's yours, you can have it. It's free too. So don't say you don't get anything free these days. Now again, the idea here is to record our thoughts and process the experience, because I find when I write things down that I really get to what it's about. I kind of really process it and understand it better. And you keep your notes however you want, I don't care. There's no specific rule. I draw a lot of pictures, lines, arrows, short sentences, weird words that only mean things to me. That it's all about jogging my memory, because remember, it's about the membering, it's not about the writing, it's about remembering it at some point. Yeah, I think that's about it about the membering. You kind of get it where I'm going, process it and think about it, but do it however it works for you. That's really the important part. All right, so the good thing is you tried something new. Yeah, all right. Hopefully it was a really good experience for you. I hope so. If not, well, to quote my dad, H.E. Howard, you don't have to like it, you just have to eat it, and then if you don't like it, you never have to eat it again. And that's kind of what we did here. You don't have to like the experience that you had, you just have to have had it, that's all. All right, it might be great, it might not be great, and that's okay. Maybe it was a little bit of both, all right? But it was great, right? It was nice to get out for half an hour, right? Come on, admit it, you know you do. All right, now with that in mind, let's think back on our lunch and let's kind of process it a little bit, all right? Now, the reason we're here is we want to ask ourselves some of these questions. What type of restaurant was it? Was it a fast food restaurant? Was it a food truck? A diner? How can you describe the look and the feel? What was the experience like of eating there? What stood out most to you? Was it the selection of the food, the service, the presentation of the place? Did they make a burger that would make you slap your pappy? Write it all down, get it out there. How was the experience? Was it a positive? Was it a negative? Would you go back? If so, why? If not, why not? Be detailed, because you want to kind of process this. Would you recommend it to your best friend, a family member, a consumer? And if you do, consider why you would recommend it, why you wouldn't, and the tone you would take in talking to them, okay? Because you're going to recommend something to your best friend differently than you're going to recommend it to a consumer, all right? And ask yourself, if you're not going to recommend it to one but the other, why would you do that? It's okay to recommend it to different people in different ways, but would you not recommend it to a consumer? And if so, why? Overall, did you like the food? Was it the flavors? Was it the taste? What was it about it? If not, was it too spicy? Not spicy enough? Was it overcooked? Undercooked? Write it all down in your notebook. Now, in future challenges, we're going to get into much more detail about things, but for right now, brief notes are fine. Just get it down so it will help you to remember it. Now, remember, you're not writing a thesis paper. You're not writing out a whole big, 4-page review giving it 9 thumbs up like your Homer. but you just got to get something down on paper, okay? That's it. That's the goal. Now, again, as usual, hopefully you can see how these are going to start to relating to helping you improving your sales and marketing, growing your business, because you can start to have conversations with anyone and everyone. You will, as we keep going through these, you're going to build a robust toolbox of experiences that can help you talk to people, all right? And then those people, they know people who can help you. So we want to talk to anybody and everybody. You know, if you're going to say everybody is your consumer, which I don't necessarily recommend, but if you're going to say that, make sure you have the tools to talk to everyone. Be able to have the tools to expand your reach and grow your business. And that is why these are so important, because they give you the tools to work with to really grow your business. And that's really all we want, right? Now, as I said, I'm always looking for some new places. So please leave your comments below, write down your experiences, give your reviews. I would love to hear it. Please, if you do, be nice. Remember, this is a fellow small business, a self-employed business. Do not bash them unnecessarily. It is okay to be honest about the food and the experience, but do not be mean, all right? If you want to, don't forget to pop on over to my website and join my tribe. It's join.ehhoward.com. And when you sign up for the mailing list, you get so much. But the most important thing is I won't bother you much. I send a Sunday email about what's going on for the week, but that's about it. There's great member of exclusives. We're going to be doing some events and all kinds of things, so make sure you get on the list for that. But the most important thing here, which I say a lot, but this is really the most important one, is I really want to truly say thank you for spending some time with me again and experiencing the Toolbox Challenge. I'm flattered and honored that you're here. I appreciate you and everything you do, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. All right.